Welcome to Pocket Watch Podcast. I'm Zach.
Cruz. Jake.
And Corban.
Hey, I know y'all heard that switch up. As always, we got another fire guest up in the building for you guys today.
Corban Arana, 22 years old, doing the business shit, doing big things in Orlando. He's got Arana Industries, MXM the movement, doing music management, doing a couple of different things, hosting events. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna get into some good stuff today.
Super excited. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's what's it called? Corbin, I think, is a good guest for us. I think like the main things we kind of talk about and stuff. I think Corban is really, it's two syllables.
Hey,
man.
we're gonna get there.
Corbin. But I think a lot of the things he's doing, I've been following him on Instagram and stuff. He's a good follow. Go check him on Instagram. It's Corban.Arana. Probably all the socials and stuff.
Always in the description. We're gonna have it so you guys can click on it easy.
And before, look, another good guest. Go ahead, give us a like, follow, subscribe. Right now, we'll give you a chance. Go ahead, do your thing, share, let somebody know. All right, bet we gave you the time, but this is gonna be good. This is the perfect guest for us, man. Thanks for coming on, bro. This is gonna be good stuff to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of. I feel like there's gonna be like a lot of diversification in this conversation versus just sticking on one thing, like real estate only or music only. So kind of jump around a little bit. So that'd be dope.
Yeah, because we've had some house flippers and then realtors,
and it's like
stuff like
specific industries. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. He does a little. He's like a jack of all trades right now, which is actually dope because you're only 22. Doing some really cool things. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we're all 25, 26 or whatever, and we have friends that are still trying to figure out what they want to do and like what's good for them, and the fact that you're kind of figuring this out and you know, going balls deep, you know, trying to do everything you can. Super dope, bro. Like,
I appreciate that.
And you didn't go to school, right? Or college?
Yeah, yes and no. I went for about one semester. I took one class. I took psychology.
Where'd you go? Did you go Valencia?
Yeah, I went to Valencia East Campus. Funny story. I went
to East Campus.
I originally, I thought, because I wrestled in high school for all 4 years. So I had actually like a lot of offers to be able to go and wrestle and essentially get my degree for free.
Bro, wrestling, that's respect, bro. Wrestling takes hard.
I respect that too. I used to wrestle too, and I
it's definitely not. It wasn't easy. It was a long journey.
It's a lot of workout.
I remember one time. A little side note. I had there was like the high school quarterback. He was like, he was that guy on campus. And I remember, he used to think he was so hard. So I was like, yo, like you should come out for a wrestling practice.
Come try out, bro.
Yeah, and I got him to do it, and oh my goodness, he broke like a twig, bro. Like our warm up stopped, and he was like, "Bro, can I get some water?" And I'm like, "Bro, we just getting warmed up."
Different level.
Wrestling's a different beat.
Yeah, you gotta have some cardio for that.
Jacob did it more than I did, but
shout out to Hazi, bro. Hazi went all the way with that shit.
I think wrestling is a sport that a lot of people don't understand how difficult it is until you've actually tried it. Like when you first watch it, you're like, I remember the first time I got introduced to wrestling, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm ever putting on those tights. Like,
leotard and just grappling each other.
I was just like, it's
everywhere.
Not gonna happen.
Wait, so you're telling me I gotta grapple this dude with this shit and this shit on? Like,
just like
I didn't like weightlifting for the same reason though. Yeah.
You kind of just get over it. I mean, majority of the time when you practice, they actually changed the rules now to where you can now wear like fight shorts and a Under Armour t-shirt.
Oh yeah,
you don't have to wear it anymore.
I feel like that can mess you up though because they can grab onto it a lot easier.
Yeah, so like the requirements, like the fight shorts, I mean, is like I guess the only thing they'd be able to grab, but the shirt has to be like a skin tight Under Armour kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of interesting.
But yeah, anyway, so you graduated high school.
Yeah, so I graduated high school. Afterwards, I came to like a really a very important like kind of decision in my life where I was like, okay, well, I now need to decide, like, okay, am I going to go to college and wrestle, or, am I just going to figure something else out? And so I was 18 at the time. I was dating this girl, and that actually influenced me a lot because I was like, yo, I almost went out of state to go to a college just because like we wanted to be in the same college.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So you were going to go wrestling to take the scholarship
the school
to go to
she wanted to go to, they didn't even have a wrestling program. So it was like an NAIA. Yeah. So I was like, screw it. I'll just wrestle there, whatever. Like, if I got to take out loans, I'll do it. Thank God I got denied. I got denied from that school, bro. And I was like so heartbroken. But it definitely happened for the better. So I ended up...
Where was it? What state?
It was Auburn University.
Really?
Yeah.
So their wrestling program is NAIA?
It's either NAIA or NCWA, which is it's not like a D1, 2, or 3.
Which is crazy because the football team's D1.
Yeah, which really blew my mind. I was shocked when I looked into the wrestling program and it was like non-existent. So it was just crazy. But,
okay, shit.
Yeah, so I was 18 years old.
But they're D1.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
I was like, all right, you know what? Let me figure out what it is that I want to do. I'm 18 years old. I don't exactly know what it is that I wanted to do. I originally wanted to actually be an attorney. So I wanted to be a criminal defense attorney. I thought that was, that was definitely going to be I did like mock trials in high school. I killed it. Yeah. I would have been a great attorney. I still will to this day if I wanted to. You can talk. Yeah. So like I could just, I'm very good at like just delivering a point across and tearing somebody else's point apart. Yeah. So I was like, I could definitely be an attorney. And so I looked into it. I actually met a guy who's a criminal defense attorney, and he told me like a horror story that just made me not want to go down that road. So he was working like 70 hours a week, which that part I didn't really mind because my belief is if you enjoy what you do, you're never really working. Yeah. So he was telling me a little bit about like his journey and how he showed up to work one day, and there was like a bunch of cops and yellow caution tape everywhere. And one of the clients, I guess, had came and like killed one of his coworkers, and I was like, "Yo!"
Especially if you're a defense attorney, you're working
for criminals, like straight criminals.
What was Lincoln Lawyer? Was a movie. I don't know if y'all ever seen Lincoln.
Yo, that movie's fire.
McConaughey.
Yes, bro, that's like one of my favorite movies. That movie and The Judge with Robert Downey Jr.
Yes, fire. Those are both they go great. Through it because they're defense attorneys.
Yeah, exactly. So those were like that was my dream, right? Like I was like, "Yo, this is perfect. This is what I'm gonna do." And after I heard that story, it really shifted my perspective. And he was like, I was making like $140,000 a year, and in my mind, like that really wasn't a lot of money. So I was just like, 7 years, $140,000. I mean, it's not terrible, but I did a little bit more digging.
But I like, just to stop there, I like how you were 18 years old, and I wish most people did this. And this is why I'm a big proponent against like free education and shit like that, because most people need to think like that. Like and not all kids do, but in some cases, it needs to be your competitive advantage in this world. Like I did the same thing, but that's why I went for accounting or whatever. That's why I was like, all right, where do I put in? Like you said, 7 years, $140,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Like doctor, like I didn't go.
Hell no, that's like 12 years.
Word, I probably couldn't have done it. You know what I mean? But that's something. It's like 12 years. Like $200,000 or whatever, but it's like, that's a lot of time you're putting in. Yeah. I think it's really dope that that's what you did, and you didn't pick the school route, right?
Yeah. So I actually had a connection. Thankfully, my dad told me, and by no means was he like, success. I mean, I would say he's like very middle class, and. But he told me he had a connection, and he knew the president of a company that he used to work for years ago. Mm-hmm. And he was, my dad's always been in sales, and he was like, I did really good there. So when I left, I left a good impression. So if I contacted him, I could probably get you a job there. And I was like, okay, what do I need to do? He was like, you just got to be 18, and, you can't be in high school because it's a full-time job. Yeah. So literally, I finished up my last day of high school, and I told my dad, make the call. Yeah. And 2 days later, we had lunch with the president of the company, and sure enough, I ended up getting an interview I ended up landing the job. So I now have a full-time corporate job fresh out of high school.
What was it for?
I was doing copier sales. So selling copiers. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So it was like a sales job.
Yeah, it was like a corporate sales job. I had a base salary. They were giving me gas money.
Yeah.
They gave me a phone allowance. My parents were still paying for my phone at the time, so it was just extra money.
Yeah.
So
you didn't tell your parents about that? No,
there's
a salary.
It's okay. They offered me a little money.
Not much benefits.
So I ended up landing that job, and I got enrolled in Valencia. I was going to be studying business and marketing.
Yep.
And I was working full time, and then at night I was driving to class after work, and literally every day, I can't make this up, I would get to class in like my work suits and stuff, and people would be like, "Who is this guy?" Like, so, but that was really my only way to be able to get through school because I was paying for school.
Yep.
So I was like, okay. I only had one class that semester. It was psychology. At the end of the semester, I aced the class. I didn't really learn a damn thing, and I probably spent, I think, like $1,200 or something like that on the class. Shit. And I was like, bro, that was only one class. Like, I got to technically take 4 of these every semester for 4 years in order to graduate. And that's going to be a lot of money. And more importantly, there's going to be a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I personally didn't feel like it was worth it because I was already... So where my turning point was, I got online and I looked up what's the average income of a person with a business and marketing degree after they graduate.
Yep.
And it was literally the exact range I was already in with the job that I had already landed. And I didn't even have my diploma yet.
Yeah.
So I was like... Okay, well, this officially doesn't make any sense, so I'm not going to do it. So I just stopped going to school. And then a few months into working at that job, I got introduced to the industry of network marketing. And so I joined a network marketing company. And
this is like after or during you're doing the sales job after high school?
It was in the middle of the sales job. And then I started putting so much of my time into that network marketing business. I ended up getting fired from that sales job. Yeah.
What did they have you doing at that? How did that start?
It was business to business sales. So I was literally just going business as a business, talking to them. Hey, who do you guys utilize for your copier services?
Yeah.
And that's what sucked is most of the times people are in like 2 to 3 year leases.
With some type of copier
with some contract. So like if they're only 3 months in, like, bro, I can't even talk to them for like the next 3 years because they can't even do anything.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy because you learned a lot about business there just from that job.
Lot. Yeah, absolutely. And I also learned like, man, like this is really what it takes to be successful in your own business because you're going to face a lot of rejection. You're going to, like it was just a part of the game. So a few months after literally the day after I got fired, I'll never forget, I had like saved up like $5,000. And, this was like the most money I had ever had at that point in time. I felt like I was on top of the world. And then I got fired.
I'll do what I want.
Yeah, I was like, and then I got fired. I was like, shit, what am I going to do? Like, so I took like $2,000. I bought a MacBook. And because I wanted to have a reliable computer, and my idea was I was going to get into drop shipping. And I had seen so many like 18-year-old kids making so much money doing drop shipping. So I was like, you know what, screw this. This is an investment. It's a tax write-off. Like, okay, so I spent $2,000 on this MacBook, and then there was this guy I met at Starbucks, and low key kind of finesse. Like, still to this day, I'm not really sure like if he was just trying to like finesse me because I was this little kid with $4,000 and I was just like, ready to blow it. But he was like, yeah, I can help you set up the store. He showed me like he was making a lot of money from doing drop shipping, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. So I paid him like $4,000 to get my store up, to get everything ready. Strategy.
Gave him the money.
And what is that inclusive of? Like, what did they do for you? Because I've thought about drop shipping too.
They set up the website, they sourced the products, like they literally did everything. So I paid them $4,000 to pretty much get my store up and started for me.
And what website do they start? Like, and it's like your own website to purchase from?
Yeah, it was my own website. Yeah.
They usually do like a Shopify back.
Yeah, it was a Shopify store.
Shopify store?
It was a Shopify store.
My brother builds those.
Really? Yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, this is going to go great. Like, this is perfect. And bro, literally 2 weeks before my Shopify store was ready to launch, I got fired. And I thought, this is perfect timing. Like, it couldn't be any better. Oh, no. Like, in 2 weeks from now, my Shopify store is going to make me what I was making at work. Yeah. And yeah, like, this is perfect. Bro, the store launches and he's like, okay, now you need money for marketing. And I'm like, bro, I gave you my entire budget.
I gave you everything, bro.
I gave you everything. I was like, what you mean? Like, I thought that this was, and yeah, bro. So long story short, the whole store flopped. I dropped $4,000 on like nothing. And I made one sale, bro. Shout out to my boy Billy. He was, my dog Billy, he was like a lifelong friend. I've known him since we were like 5 years old. He grew up like right down the street from me. And he bought a shirt off the website, and that was the only money I'd ever made from that store. Yeah, and it was like $20. So and I was like, bro,
great tax write off for the year.
Yeah. So it totally flopped, bro. It sucked, and then.
You saw like, all right, this is like what could happen.
Like this is business, bro.
This is
like
business.
It's not just, and if it were easy, everybody would do it. So like, if
that's the message you got from that.
Yeah, 100%.
That's good. That's good.
After that, I was just in and out of sales jobs while trying to make like this marketing business work, and so I had joined this guy, and we started this organization called MXM, and. It stand for Millennials to Moguls, and that was like in my mind, I got introduced for the first time to like real money. Yeah, I met a guy who was like 26 years old. He was making $500,000 a month, and I was like mind blown. I was like, holy shit! Like you could make that much money? Like that's crazy.
How'd you meet this guy?
So I met him at he was like the keynote speaker at an event that I got invited to.
Okay.
So I went to attend the event. He was there. And I was like, bro, there is no way. Like, a part of me was like really sketch. I was like, there's no way this dude makes that much money. Like, he looks like a normal, like, Puerto Rican dude. Like, there's just no way. And so I ended up, like, really just putting my all into that business while I was working, like, on and off odd sales jobs here and there. And then I finally, like... took a leap to really like go all in with that company. And my first year I didn't really make anything. As a matter of fact, I probably lost like close to $1,500 in total. And then the second year I went from making like no money and got up to the point where I was making like $5,000 a month. And we were doing like my organization alone was doing like $40,000 a month in sales.
Really? And sales of what? Like what is that?
So it's basically selling like membership services. It's an online like educational platform. And the company was called I Am Academy. You probably heard of it actually. It was previously branded as IML, International Markets Live.
Okay.
And it was basically like a Forex company. And there was a lot of people that talked a lot of shit about it. Like, yo, it's a scam. It's a pyramid, all this stuff. And I was just like so immersed in the fact that I could make $500,000 a month that I wasn't letting anybody or anything get in my way. So,
or 5,000 a month, not 500.
Yeah, but like I was working my way there. You know what I mean? So I got to the point where I was making like $5,000 a month, and I felt broke. Like I was like, bro, everybody in this company, there's like hundreds of people at the same exact level making the same amount of money, but these people have money coming in from this business, that business. You know, like they have other businesses that are making them money. For me, this was it for me.
Right.
So it was like I was like, dude, I need to do something else. So after a couple of months, I ended up having like a bunch of hiccups. A bunch of people, like my top producers in the organization, like left, went to other companies, other teams, and my whole business just fell apart within like 2 months.
Really?
And I went from making like $5,000 a month to like almost nothing. And I was just like, damn, how the hell did this happen? And mind you, at that time I had just bought a new sports car. I got like a Subaru WRX STI. That was like one of my dream cars. Right? So I finally,
as soon as you got that $5,000,
I bought that car. Well, because here's the thing is I had pretty much no bills. I was still living with my parents. And the car payment was like $500-600. So I'm like, bro, that's like half of my weekly checks. So like it's really not a big deal. And then on top of it, the belief level it's going to spark in all these people is going to be well worth like the investment. So
in marketing or sales or something, you kind of need a nice little whip.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like it's a statement piece in a sense. So
Jacob says exactly. He's a realtor.
Well, I'm a
if you see the whip,
I budget my money properly,
bro. So
it's different.
It's crazy, man. So like it actually all went south. That car ended up. I blew the motor like literally 60 days after I bought it.
How the fuck did you blow a motor?
Was it used?
It was used.
Was it not no oil change, no oil? Like
no, bro. Like
it was used. It was probably used and abused.
I was just driving, and I can't lie. I was speeding. I was booking it.
I didn't do shit to it.
But I don't know what happened. I just know I go to get on the highway. I'm pressing the gas, and it's not responding like it did. You know? I'm like, dude, something's wrong. I go to pull over, and the car shuts off, and I'm like, fuck. Like, dude, this sucks. And mind you, at that time, this was probably like one of the most difficult points in my career, even still to this day. So
business is kind of falling out.
All within a 2-week time frame, right? The girl that I'm dating at the time,
is that the same girl, or is it this is a new girl?
So it's a complicated story.
Oh no!
So all right, so the girl that I'm dating at the time. She's cheating on me, and I find out, right? My business is falling apart. 2 of the top producers on my team, which is the biggest reason I was making the money I was, they decided to leave. And then on top of it, the night I'm headed to my boy's house, my motor blows.
That's it.
All within a
girl
2-week
job.
time frame. And then a couple weeks later, I found out my aunt passed away.
Really?
Yeah, so it was just and then to make matters worse, one of my childhood like best friends passed away, and his funeral was on the same day as my aunt's. So it was just like, bro, life was hitting me like a fucking brick. Like,
how long ago was this?
This was probably like 8 to 12 months ago.
About a
year and a half ago.
About a year.
So it was just shitty.
Rough.
And so like I was just like, bro, I was in such a deep depression. Like I didn't even know what the hell to do with my life.
Yeah.
And eventually, I kind of shook it off and I got past it, and I started getting into like marketing and sales again. And I had thought like, social media marketing is something that I've always had in the back of my mind that I knew I could be successful in. I ended up landing a client for like $2,000 a month in literally like my first week of like actually putting effort into this business. I was like, holy shit, bro. It took me like 2.5 years to get to $5,000 a month in this other business. And in 2 weeks of like quote unquote launching this marketing company, I'm already halfway back.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is powerful.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, if I land 5 clients at $2,000 a month, I'm at 10 bands a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is cake.
Yeah.
Because basically what I took was the same exact strategy that I used to sell copiers of just going business to business. And I applied the same thing for social media marketing.
So this was, what was this marketing thing? This was the
Arana
MXM?
Industries. Yeah.
Arana.
Arana Industries.
So then you start Arana Industries after like that
pitfall.
pitfall.
So I basically helped like build MXM like from nothing to being like a $1 million brand.
Uh-huh.
And I had a falling out with like the main guy of the business, and for respect for him and for the company and stuff, I won't say his name, but I decided to just let it go. But some people probably won't admit it, but like, bro, I helped build that company from like there was like 4 people in a room, and I was one of them. And out of those 4 people today, the only people that were left like a year later when we were doing $1 million a year in sales was me and him.
Yeah.
And I decided to part ways from the organization just because a lot of people in that like whole space, like that was their life. You know what I mean? Like their life was just marketing this company. And I was like, wow, like, okay, I was making $5,000 a month doing $40,000 a month in sales.
Yeah.
If I was doing that for my own company, I would have been making $40,000 a month, not 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had an epiphany moment. I was like, bro, I'm about to take things to a whole nother level that these people have never seen.
Yeah. And that's like the con part. Like those that start with a business or those that start a business, it's like when you start a business, you got somebody that's gonna be your right hand that's gonna help you through it and stuff.
Exactly.
But then if they see that they can build it from nothing, they kind of feel like they can do it.
Yeah. And I just like, bro, I honestly just thought, okay, I can do this all over again. It already fell apart. So even if I stay with this company, I'm going to have to do it all over again, or I can leave and do it again for my own company.
Yeah.
So that's what I ended up doing. Fast forward to today. Now I have, I've started or helped create like multiple companies, and I actually got into so many different businesses now, but I would say it started out primarily with marketing. And I mean, bro, like marketing was like the one thing that I instantly had credibility in, because old people think that young people automatically know how to use social media.
Yeah, so, for sure. And then if you're actually good at it, then
and I knew a lot about social media. I was like, bro, this is cake. And what I started doing, bro, is I just outsourced all the work. I would outsource the work to people that were actually really good, and that's how I would deliver results.
Yeah.
So, for example, this client comes to me and they got a marketing budget of $3,000 a month. Okay, cool. I have a service charge of $2,000 a month. So in total, it'll be about $5,000 a month. Is that something you can swing? They tell me, yeah, whatever. We signed the contract. They're paying me $5,000 a month.
And this is like what, big companies trying to market themselves on social
big
media
companies,
or something?
mom and pops, like
just $5,000 a month to market their business,
just to market their business,
social
run
media.
their ads, everything. Yeah. So now what I do is I take a budget of like say $1,500 to $2,000, and I have a company that I work with that I basically pay them to do the services and fulfill all the deliverables, and I keep the profit, and I don't really do anything.
Right.
Smart. So I started doing that. I was like, bro, like this is literally the easiest money I've ever made in my life.
Just being the middleman to this.
Just middlemaning. But that's what all business is, bro.
Or big money in being a middleman.
There's a lot of money, bro. Yeah. That's what drop shipping is. Yeah. You're a middleman.
You're a middleman.
If you look at like every business, whether it's a mom and pop, an online retailer, they are all the middleman of some sort. Like, bro, Amazon's the biggest middleman of them all.
Right.
And they're the biggest fucking company in the world.
Right.
So I was like, bro, like this is so cake. So what I do is I basically just middleman services. Yeah. And there's not really many people that do that. Right. So. And you could really, bro, this is when I really started tapping into different industries, hence the company Arana Industries. Right. Because I realized, bro, there's so much money in being the middleman and just finding, and I knew a lot of people from that marketing business. Yeah. So, like, my network was massive. I knew a lot of people that did different things. So, a lot of times people would come to me and be like, yo, do you know somebody that does X, Y, Z? And I'd get a price. I'd throw a profit margin and be like, yeah, here.
Bro, that's so true. Like, if you got a little bit of hustle and you have, the effort, you put in the effort to kind of learn whatever industry it is, to be a good middleman, bro, like there's money in every industry being a middleman. Every business. Doing subcontracting and stuff. Like Zach kind of was getting some money for doing just that. Like, okay, you want to do this, you need to renovate this, I'll help you get this guy. Meanwhile, not doing anything, but just getting this guy. That's the middleman. That's big money in middleman. Like, what else they got? They got 100%.
You can do so many different things, bro. Like you can even 100%. Middleman in real estate, bro. Like
flipping contracts and shit like that.
Yeah, wholesalers. They're middlemans. Mm-hmm. Literally, they're They're finding the freaking sellers. They find the buyer, and then they take a portion. Like it's just.
It's kind of like you're getting paid to do the work that they're missing out on, right? Like like that company.
You're doing the marketing,
right? But like even then, it's like you weren't even doing the marketing, kind of, right? Like it's like they didn't want to do the work to find the cheaper option that exactly. Produce the results. You did the work to find the cheaper option to produce the results. That's pretty much what they're paying you for,
they're
right?
Paying me a service charge, and a lot of people look at that like some people would be like, "Oh, that's kind of like wrong," but it's not, because if you think about the amount of time, energy, and money that I saved them, but because think about it, somebody goes to look for a cheaper service, and then they spend all this money and it doesn't work out. When they could have just came to me, paid me my service charge, and I could have gotten them the results.
Something that's going to work out.
Exactly. Right off rip.
Yeah, no, because that's like it's like finding the market in different things, right? Like it's like, okay, this business's market for a monthly marketing fee is $5,000 because that's what they're paying you, right? But then like just you going out and finding what could provide the same results for $15,000. You know what I mean? It's just. It's not wrong, right? Like it's not a morally bad thing. Like it's just that if they're willing to pay that amount for a fee for a service, I mean, that's the value they have attached to it. Exactly. You know what I mean?
And that's what people do, bro. Like a lot of companies, and it's called white labeling or private labeling. And basically, there's companies, and bro, it's very similar to affiliate marketing. So if you go on like Walmart and you scroll all the way to the bottom, it says like affiliate marketing. And, you know, like all these YouTubers and shit, they all have links in their bio. Yeah. And if you buy something from there, they get a commission. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're doing the marketing for them anyway. Yeah. So it's just a smarter way of doing business.
There's something to it, right? Like if you're just starting off, that's probably not what you want to do, right? Like if you're just starting out, maybe paying $5,000 for marketing ain't the thing. Yeah. You got to put that work in to find that cheaper option.
Yeah, 100%.
But like places like, for instance, when I almost went to Deloitte, right? The shit that blew my mind is they don't hire. I mean, I'm sure there's a small percentage of people that they hire directly, but big companies like that don't hire directly. They pay I don't know what it's called, like a recruiting service. Yeah. They pay a recruiting service, and that's
weed out all the shitty people.
Pretty much that's strictly the people that get them their hires. But the thing about that is that recruiting service gets a percentage of your salary. Whatever recruit that picked you out and got you hired, they're getting a percentage of it. So Deloitte, these big companies, they're not the only one. My company does that. You're literally paying somebody a percentage of this person's salary. Just like okay, let's just say you got a job for $100,000. That company's paying $100,000, but like, you know, actually that company's paying $125,000. Yeah, exactly. Because they're paying the recruiter that extra percentage of whatever your salary is, and it's like, fuck. Why don't you just pay me $125,000? I'll be the best. I'll be the best employee you ever had. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because at a certain point, I feel like if you want to scale, right? Like, so what you do is perfect for those companies that, like the mom and pops that are doing really good, and they know they want to scale to a certain point. It's like, it is just better. Like, let me just give this guy my money. He's going to take care of me, stuff like that. There is a certain point where it's kind of like, I want consistency. I don't want to keep spending money and failing and trying like I did when I was building the company. You know what I mean?
It's all about utilizing your connections to be able to monetize your connections. Basically.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. It's about who you know. Like if you know somebody that can do something and you know somebody who needs something, it's just making that connection and being able to monetize that connection.
And it's the work, right? Like I'll pay you that extra 25%, the recruiter or the marketer, you know what I mean? I'll pay you that extra percentage because you're going to do the work. Even if it's you doing the work in marketing or you doing the work finding somebody, which is like a recruiter, I'll pay you to find somebody so we can have consistency in whatever I'm trying to get, right? Like whether it's employees, whether it's marketing, like actually results and stuff like that. Like I guess that's where it goes to. And I'm speaking to that being morally wrong. There's nothing morally wrong with that. No,
it's been happening for decades, man. It's just that it's becoming more publicly known. This has all been going behind closed doors for many, many years. It's business 101. That's how it's always been. Yeah. But it's just becoming more publicly open because people are talking more about business and people are talking about like loopholes in business and how to make money. But it's been happening forever.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But it's been happening behind closed doors.
It blows your mind until you realize, like, if you were in that position, it's like, yo, like Deloitte or whatever, I can't get a bunch of valid employees. You know how hard it is to go find a bunch of good contenders for millions of jobs.
It's not easy.
I need a team that's constantly recruiting.
Yeah, of course.
And what is the fee for that? There's your 25.
And like he said, you know, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yeah.
And I heard 100%. A quote the other day. It was like the more hands you shake, the more money you make.
Yeah.
And it's facts, man. Because like you never know who might be that missing connection you need to take you to the next level. You know.
Yeah.
You never know.
One of our boys, John, mentioned in the group chat that he went to a networking event yesterday. You just mentioned you met somebody that really helped you out in an event of your life because of a what was it?
Just a connection.
Event. Yeah. It was an event, right? Yeah. Man, that's something I want to push myself to do a little more this year. Even though it's like, even if you feel like satisfied in what you're doing, satisfied in your career, whatever. Yeah. It's like meeting more people. The more hands you shake, the more money you make, man. Like those events, bro. Like they're big, man. Like it's a lot of things. We went to a boxing event and got a podcast out of it. You know what I mean? Like
that's sick.
Just to kind of like, it's the same shit, different place. You know, if you go to those events that kind of focus on what you do, man, like you're gonna come out with something.
And to even back that even more, that's the reason why these companies spend millions, tens of $millions on just these conventions and these marketing events that basically it's just like, well, not even marketing, it's more of networking events, I should say. And like, man, we live in one of the prime areas in the Orlando Convention Center, bro.
Yeah,
they have some of the biggest networking events that are hosted there for everything, and they drop. Every company that comes is paying $1 million, you know what I mean, just to be able to be there. And it's because they pay $1 million to meet the right person, and then they make the money. Like, for example, there was a Sun and Fun, which is, it was, I think it was back in like the second week of April or something like that, which is an aviation convention that happened down over by Lakeland, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of people that were trying to get into the airlines, they fucking went there and they met recruiters that were there, and they got hired into the airlines, like a fast track expedition.
That's something you don't think about doing, right?
Exactly, of course. But like, if it's everywhere, you just have to surround yourself by people that are in your industry specifically, or people that can like pretty much assist you in the industry that you want to work with. You know what I mean?
I still get emails because I graduated from UCF. I still get emails when they have their career days.
So you graduated?
Oh yeah, man. But I'm the only one, and I want to talk about that too, because I like how you approached it and went about it. But like, just as like, I wish I could still go to those career days. Like, I get those emails and stuff.
I will say, oh my god, bro, there's a lot of power behind going. Like, bro, I'm not 100% against going to college. I just think, like, for me personally, like, yo, in business, I don't think it's as necessary as people like push other these kids to be, you know. But on the other hand, like, it is a very, very powerful tool in the sense that,
that's the key word,
bro,
tool.
there is a massive network that you're able to tap into a generation that hasn't yet hit the real world. And there's a lot of power behind that, bro. I went to UCF to promote an event, right? I wouldn't, like, mind you, I don't go there. Like, I just, like, bro, you could literally just pop out and pull a Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs used to go to the classes he needed for free and just walk up in there. Bro, nobody's gonna ask you, bro. They don't care. Big. So
I didn't know Steve Jobs did that, but that's fucking dope. That's smart as fuck. I never thought of it.
Down and take the knowledge.
I didn't even know that. That's dope.
Smart, but like, bro, I've considered doing it myself. Like, just going to a marketing class and seeing what they teach. Maybe I'll learn something I didn't know yet.
Take a couple concepts,
find a way to apply it in actually in the real world business. So it was funny because I went to an event, right, and I accidentally got him into this room for like the fraternities and sororities. And it was like called like the Greek Expo, and bro, literally it was a packed out room of like 500 people, and I'm like, wow, this is powerful. And this is just being put together by fraternities and sororities. Like, yo, this showed me a massive opportunity. So now I was like, okay, anytime and anybody listening to the podcast right now, like, bro, if you want to tap into a major network, get connected with local fraternities and sororities, because they have a level of influence over people at their campus that, bro, people would pay top dollar for that type of stuff. Like, it's insane.
Not just that, but also you make the connections with like the brothers and sisters of the fraternity and sorority, so that because everybody wants to help build each other up in that group, you know what I mean? So like, the whole idea is like, oh, so and so has a business, now you got 500 people that are pretty much already ready to back you because of the business that you just started. You know what I mean? That's how it is.
Either clients or affiliates. Bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And they talk about, like, I think that's definitely, you're right, big pro. And I think one of the like, it does give you a couple of good tools here and there, right? Doesn't give you, like, don't get me wrong, I hate the college kid that graduates and never worked or never really had any real experiences and thinks they know everything. It's like, no, you learned a couple different things.
I know people like that.
But it's like, you learn a couple things to apply. Like you said, like, you learn some concepts, some different tools that you can apply in this. And you know, some degrees are more heavier than others, you know, or whatever, depending on if it's technical or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But it is time and money you're putting in, and
absolutely,
and to get a big benefit out of like going to a big school like that or something. You said the key thing, like, if you got money to do a frat or sorority or something like that, like, it's undeniably a good fucking idea.
That's something I want to do, bro. I want to start a fraternity. I want to start a bomb ass fraternity that's like, yo, if you join this fraternity, like, you're guaranteed 6 figures. Like, I want to have like a fraternity. Yeah, bro. Like kind of like it's crazy because these fraternities, a lot of the times, they're almost like secret societies.
That's what I was saying.
But within a college campus, and it's crazy, but it's real.
That's like a good idea. Starting like a outside of college like frat. For like,
they already have those.
Yeah, like if it's not for you,
they already have those. What do they call their
Freemasons?
Yeah, the Freemasons. You can join the Freemasons.
You know what I found out?
Is that Illuminati?
No, that's a whole other controversial topic. But there's there's Masonic lodges all around Central Florida. You can drive by them. You see them all the time.
A lot of people have no idea, bro. A little side note. I actually I almost became a Freemason, right? Just because I was curious about, like, because people think like, oh, if you're a Freemason, you're like
Illuminati, Satan
worshiper, like, bro. So I actually found out my grandfather was a Freemason.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, and I was like, interesting. And if you're like a descendant of a Freemason, you have like special access to like kind of like you have like an in with
it's a group.
Yeah, and so I actually went over to a lodge and I inquired about being a Freemason. I decided not to do it just because it was a little like, I don't know, it was a little weird.
What do you gotta do? Like what was that,
bro? Like
application
process? It's intense, bro. Like they like the application, bro. I can't make this up. It's like, I don't know. It's like applying for a fucking like a passport type shit. What? Like they ask you so many questions, bro.
Really?
Like, do you have a criminal background? Like, do you know anybody who was a Mason? If so, who? Like they just ask like very specific and intense questions. But that didn't.
It's
really
a screening. It's a screening process. They don't want to bring outsiders in, and they want to make sure that you're bringing something to contribute to the society. If you're just some bum that ain't really doing nothing, it's like why are we going to have a seat for you here? You know what I mean?
Right.
And the other thing is like being a Freemason. Like from what I know, like it's a lot of people think it's like very like satanic or whatever. Yeah. Like it's not. It is very. It's actually a very religiously based kind of like I guess network of people. That's the way that I looked at it. It's like this
so it does have to do with religion then. Like there is some side to it.
So one of the requirements to be a Freemason, from what I know, is that you have to believe in some sort of higher power. So
which ain't the worst, right? You can't be atheist.
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be God or Allah or whatever. Like it just could be a higher power of some sort outside of just you. And one interesting thing that I did learn while kind of going to a couple of these meetings and whatnot is that if you actually look up like the Freemason logo, in the middle there's like a G, and so there's thoughts that the G stand for God, and that like it revolved around, like it was centered around God. Yeah. So when people say like, oh, they're Satan worshipers, I'm like, bro, you obviously are very uneducated in what it even is.
How did it get that it's like Jay-Z and Beyonce?
It's because of the whole Illuminati thing that came out. People are talking about like people that are part of Illuminati are associated with Freemason, like the Mason Society and stuff like that. And then you also see like if you go back in history, like a lot of people that were Freemasons were part of like Illuminati, and Illuminati.
So it's like a correlation.
Yeah, it's like a correlation between the two, really, and I'm sure it's a lot deeper than like what we're getting at. But like, that's like the top of it.
We don't know shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, all I do know is that it's, in my opinion, it's literally like a fraternity, and it's just. It's like a network of people. Like I don't.
Do you have to pay or anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was.
They require like contributions to the society.
That because that's how they fund everything. That's how they pay their bills. Basically, is like it's literally they have monthly memberships. Yeah. That is personally like one of the reasons why I was like, I don't feel like it's worth it to pay all this money. But like at the same time, it's I think the main thing that turned me away from it is I went to one of these meetings, bro, and I can't make this up. I was talking to this older guy. He was a Freemason for like 20, 30 years, like as long as I've been alive. And he was like, I was like, so who's this guy or whatever? And he was like, oh, that's like the worshipful master. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's a weird name though. That's a weird name.
And I'm just like, he's like, if he's talking, you shut your mouth. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not gonna fly with me because I have a little attitude problem, and I'll probably be like, "Yo, like what? What do you think?"
After this is over, I'll talk to you guys. But I know somebody who was a Freemason in this area. It was actually a pretty big one, but I don't want to like name drop or go into details on this episode.
Really?
But I'll talk to you guys.
Find out that they were big, like.
I'll tell you guys if I say it's gonna be like bing already.
Okay, so that is kind of a weird thing because it is like it's like. Yeah, it's got these taboos because it's a very taboo thing.
I'll drop one thing. They were a big executive at Disney.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I'll drop that note.
Well, it honestly opens up a lot of doors, which is why George Washington was a Freemason.
A lot of the founding fathers were.
Yeah,
really.
That's why Illuminati came around to be.
And that's one of the reasons why you see the things that you see on our money and the face value for that because of the background of the founding fathers.
The fucking eye, the triangle.
Yeah.
See, that's oh shit. That's a good little gem right there, because this whole time, like some of the things that they say against the Freemasons that makes them satanic, or the Illuminati always has control and stuff, is because of the shit on the money and stuff. Yeah. But then it's like, no, dumbass.
The founding fathers
were Freemasons. They were a part of the fraternity.
I think it was like...
They created it.
It was a pretty large number, like the people that signed the Declaration of Independence. A lot of them were Freemasons. But like, it's literally just like... It's not as crazy as people think. It's literally just like a network of connections, and that's why I was interested in joining, because like, bro, there's a lot of powerful attorneys, doctors, lawyers. Like, it
really is. Then they want to have the most powerful people in it. That's usually, if you're not... like you said your great grandfather or whatever was a part of it. More than likely, unless he came in through like a family member,
I was curious.
He was probably a powerful member of society, because they usually try to bring powerful members of their community in to try to help with them, and that's usually how you get recruited in, unless you're, like you said, a descendant.
And it just gives you like access. Like, bro, if I'm looking to get hired into a company, and the guys are like the guy that's making the decision on whether or not I get hired, and I'm a fucking Mason, bro. Like, I already got the job. Like, I don't care who else. Like, I don't care if the other guy's got a freaking bachelor's from Harvard. Like, I already got in. It's too late, bro. Yeah. And that's where it goes back to, like, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Yeah. Because, bro, that opens up so many doors. Like, the reason I got my first job in corporate America was because I had a connection to one of the owners of the company.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, there is no secret, like, to it. And I think, like, that's one of the biggest things when it comes down to, like, whatever it is that you're trying to do. I normally, for people that are listening to the podcast, like, whatever it is that you're looking to be successful in, find somebody who's already in a position that you admire and that you would like to be in, and find out how they got to where they are. Like,
fam, every episode, not that we say the same shit, but some way, somehow, that type of concept comes out. Like,
every single person says
blueprint. Put yourself in networks. Freemason is an example. Sororities, all these things that we're talking about is an example of finding people that are doing things you want to do
and just follow what they're doing.
Follow just a blueprint, some type of blueprint. Have you had like big mentors in your like career and your upcoming?
A lot of mentors.
Who was probably your biggest, you would say, or like one of your biggest inspirations?
My biggest inspiration, I will say, one of my biggest inspirations still into this day is definitely Elon Musk.
Oh, I fucking love it. What do you think about him buying Twitter, bro?
I think he's going to do it.
He's a beast. Well, he did it.
Oh, he did it.
Yeah. Right? He's trying to make changes and shit right now.
I mean, like, I personally, I just think it's fucking hilarious. Like, I was reading some of his tweets. He was like, I saw, like, there's so many memes about it. I saw, like, this one thing. It was like, next I'm going to buy Doritos and fill the bags all the way up.
Right.
Yeah, everybody been making jokes about it.
Right.
And then, I thought it was a joke. But I saw this one tweet where it was like, I'm going to buy Coca-Cola and put the cocaine back in it.
I thought
that was a joke. Bro, he actually tweeted that.
Oh, he tweeted that shit?
He's a troll, bro.
That is hilarious, bro.
I didn't know he actually tweeted. I seen that, but I thought like somebody edited that shit.
Bro, he's the definition. Like, just like you, like for people like you especially, like just entrepreneurs trying a bunch of different shit, marketing, this and that, music management shit. He is the best inspiration for that shit. Because he literally has a couple of tools. He has some great tools. He's a smart dude.
Yeah.
But like, I'm a believer in he's the best. He's perfect.
He's a visionary. That's what I love about him.
He's a visionary plus team building. He builds the best teams. Like, there's no way he does all this stuff by himself.
Hell no.
Absolutely.
He builds SpaceX. He builds Tesla. He puts the best people in place. And then he trolls the internet. He trolls Twitter.
The fuck out of it. And he knows how to get together an audience, bro. Like, this dude fucking... He does. Like, he sold flamethrowers for fun and made like $10 million.
And then told you don't buy it.
Like, he literally put on the website, do not buy this flamethrower.
He's like, people still bought it. I couldn't stop them. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? That's hilarious. Yeah. No, but my biggest inspirations are definitely, I would say, Elon Musk. Another big inspiration is Scooter Braun. Yeah, he's Justin Bieber's manager, Ariana Grande's manager, and fast forward to today, he has like a massive management company where he fucking, bro, he runs shit in the music business.
Isn't he like, He's not LeBron James. He's not like NBA managers or nothing, right? No, that's a different dude. Okay,
he's primarily in the music business. But yeah, like he's done a lot of like legendary shit, and I'm excited. I have a book coming in on Monday about the guy, because I was listening to a podcast that he was in, and he mentions like one of his mentors who was basically in the position he is today, but like that was like who he looked up to. And I forget the guy's name, but he's worth like $10 billion. You would, bro, this guy could be sitting at fucking Starbucks and nobody would know.
Most people
run shit,
bro. Most people are that way. The richest guy we've had on our podcast came in with a hoodie and a backwards cap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not to say that's what money is, but it's like those that like. It's funny how that
people,
way.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Because the values are different.
I saw something the other day whenever it was like. Back in the day when Jay-Z was wearing like all these chains and like all this, flashing all this money,
and how he looked now,
and Jay-Z, and at that time Jay-Z was actually almost basically broke. He was pretty much flatline broke. Yeah. He had spent all his money like that, and nowadays it's like he's wearing like a fucking t-shirt from Walmart, some joggers, and a pair of $200 Jordans, and that's how he's rocking. And he's like one of the richest people that we have.
He don't give a damn.
And that's how it is. It's like when you have money, you don't care about looking like money, but when you don't have money, you care about looking like money. What they say.
Literally, the guy's name is David Geffen.
That sounds familiar,
bro. This dude is a fucking legend, bro. Like he's like produced so many hit movies that you would never even know. Like Beetlejuice, he like was behind that. He was behind like a lot of like really big movies. Yeah. Then in the music industry, he's like, bro, his record company still to this day is popping, bro. Yeah. They have so many people. Like some of your favorite artists are probably signed under their company. Yeah. Right now. Like today, 20, 30, 40 years later. Yeah. But the guy's, he's freaking loaded.
That's crazy.
But yeah, like my mentors, like they really range because I have like different mentors for different things. I would say Grant Cardone's a very big inspiration. Yeah. And the biggest reason why is because he's successful in business. And granted, you never know like behind closed doors. But from what it seems like, he has a successful business. He's very involved with his family life. And one thing that I respect a lot is he is in phenomenal shape for his age.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the guy's like 67.
That's the other pillar in life.
Yeah, 67 years old. And the guy has a better physique than, most 30-year-olds.
Yeah, and that's big
better
too.
Physique than me, and I'm 26.
But that's big too for other reasons. Like we bust our ass, we lose sleep, we do this and that for money and for a lifestyle. But if by the time you get that lifestyle, you can't enjoy it because of your physical state, you know what I mean? That's a whole different thing. And before we wrap up, I just want to throw one thing out there. Because you mentioned like the way you think, the way you talk, what you're doing since high school and stuff, and the process you went through going into college, and then the perspective you got, and then leaving college, what you learned. You're writing a book about it, right? You said,
I am. So the book is going to be called The Successful Dropout, and so
most of the biggest motherfuckers in this world are dropouts.
100%.
Yeah.
Literally, yo. A lot of people like Scooter Braun. He's a dropout. Yeah. Elon Musk, dropout. You look at
Apple.
Steve Jobs, dropout.
Yeah,
like it's true, but also on the flip side, also applies too.
Yeah, but like I want to say
no. I mean, a lot of unsuccessful people are dropouts too. And I say this, and I'm a high school. I'm a high school dropout, and I'm also technically a college dropout.
I'm a college dropout.
I got my GED, and then I'm 2 classes from my AA, and I just stopped going.
But there's
I say that, but like. That's not saying like if it's like it's not saying like
we're not saying drop out.
No, we're not saying like in order to be successful you have to drop out of high school, drop out of college.
I think drop this stigma of you're not going to be successful if you drop out.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why the subtitle is going to be how to drop out and succeed against all odds.
Hell yeah.
So I think that the reason why a lot of successful people happen to drop out isn't because dropping out makes them successful. It's because they don't fit in this box that you're put in when you're in an institutionalized educational system like college. Because like for me personally, like, bro, my mind is driving crazy with ideas while I'm sitting there in a classroom. Like, bro, I want to go out and network. I want to go like expand this. I want to create something. I don't want to sit here and fucking take notes on this teacher who doesn't even like what they do.
And if you notice, like the three of y'all think different, right? Like you think way different. And it's one of those things where like, if you want to be successful in a company, like you should go to school. Like that's gonna, like if you want to be the director of marketing or something like that for a big business, you probably should go to school and do this and that. And if you wanted that to be your backup, you probably should do it. But like, if you're trying to start your own business, if you're trying to do your own thing, if you're trying to do like exactly what you're doing, exactly what y'all are doing, like, there's not a lot of benefit in going to school. Like, it is time wasted. It is money wasted.
100%. That's kind of like what I'm going to be going over in the book. So I'm going to basically be talking about kind of my personal story, how I was able to drop out and, you know, create my own success story, but also like, you know, if you're in college and you're not really sure and you're really just going because your parents are telling you to, well, you know, like I have, it's basically like a guide for people that are kind of like in the middle, people that are in school, people that are just graduating high school. Cause bro, I remember my senior year, like it was yesterday. That was like the most stressful time of my life.
Oh, you're not going to a big school? Oh, you're not doing this?
You're not going to do what's next?
The way people belittle, like they just look at you with this demeanor of like, yo, you're not like what?
Like you're gonna fail. You're gonna be a loser. And that's like, the other thing.
That shit pissed me off, bro.
Normalizing community college is also a big step in that, right? Because like just like you, bro, 1000%. I went to all like I remember specifically the last day of a certain class I had. That a couple people went up to me and was like, yo, what do you do? Like, cause but like opposite of you, I didn't show up in suits. I was showing up in like warehouse, like big ass pants with like this weird ass shirt. Like cause I didn't have
like
time.
Work clothes.
Work clothes. I had grease all over me and shit. And it was funny because we were in like accounting classes and they never said nothing the whole class. But I know now because they mentioned it to me
later on.
Later, they're like, yo, what the fuck? Because I always see you like pulling up in like warehouse shit, you know. But it's like normalize that shit, bro. Because just like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But you could go do other things and go to a community college, and you don't gotta spend so much bread.
Bro, that's one thing that pissed me off.
Yeah. We're blessed here in Orlando because we have Valencia.
Yeah,
and Valencia is partnered with Florida Hospital, or is it Orlando Health?
I think it's Orlando Health.
Orlando Health, my fault. Yeah, Orlando Health. They're partnered with Orlando Health. So, like, if you're going medical field, you can go for a full bachelor at university.
Right.
And it's a third of a cost than what UCF is per credit hour. Right. So it's 1/3. You pay and honestly, when you get hired, they do not give a fuck.
No, yeah.
And they do not care where you're.
Nobody cares. And I'll tell you, as
unless you're like a fucking doctor, like a surgeon, they might care.
Yeah.
But honestly, your undergrad, they're not going to give a fuck where you went to school at.
No.
Save that money for later on, whenever you actually need it, if it does actually matter. But if you're not going for masters, even masters, it might not even apply. But I would say masters, depending on what industry you go in, it might start mattering where you graduate from. Doctors, depending on what you're going for, it might start mattering.
Outside of that,
bachelors and associates, it does not matter where you go. Stop overpaying.
One thing I will say, bro, is if you are putting yourself in hundreds of thousands of dollars or even tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt to quote unquote get an education, first understand that an education does not mean a degree.
Right.
You can get the same, if not a better education on YouTube University that's free.
Word.
Yeah.
Through books from people that have actually created success stories. And so like for me, the biggest thing about college that was like the initial turnoff for me was just, bro, the outrageous cost. And how is it I can't get approved for $100,000 loan to go buy a real estate property, but they'll write me a check left and right for $100,000, $200,000 for student loans? Yeah. Like, bro, for me personally, that just didn't make sense. Like, student loan debt is higher than credit card debt in America. Yeah. So I would strongly like tell you, anybody realistically, if you're gonna go to college, ask yourself, is it going to be worth the amount of money that I invest into it? And if so,
do that at the very least.
It's a tool for investment.
Yeah. Is there a smarter way to do it? Because, bro, today we have access to technology, tools, and resources that our parents didn't have.
Right.
Like, think about it, bro. Something as simple as Google, right, wasn't around 23 years ago.
Right.
Like, when your parents were our age and somebody asked them a question, they couldn't whip out their phone and ask Siri.
Answers.
They couldn't go. Yeah, bro.
Bro, literally, I asked my girl how to spell a word, and then she started like looking up. She was like A-C. I was like, this ain't the spelling bee. Google that shit. You know what I mean?
I do that till this day, bro. I'll be like, Alexa, how do you spell X, Y, and Z? You know what I mean? Like,
every time.
And bro, it's helpful. It saves fucking time.
I don't Google. I just type it until it shows the red line. I'm like, oh shit.
The autocorrect.
But
And you know you're fucking up when you're typing it, and it's not, and you're done typing, and the fucking suggestions that pop up. You're like, fuck, I'm so wrong.
I'm far off.
100%. That's it. Because I remember, and like I think that's big. Like with your book. To push in the high school areas, right? Like the high school demographics, because they don't see that, they don't hear that. Because I remember specifically being in a class, and our teacher was trying to talk us up about this and that, and I remember a kid asked, "But like, ma'am, I can't afford that, you know, like this and that."
Crazy.
And her response instantly was, "Oh, you could afford anything you want with student loans."
Shout out to Ron DeSantis with that new financial literacy class requirement for high school students.
Yeah,
bro,
they're pushing that.
I completely shit on one of the presenters in high school, and she was like presenting. She was like, they always give the same spiel, like, hey, here's how much people make without a bachelor's degree. Oh, and if you go to school, this is how much you can make. And I raised my hand and interrupted her in the middle of her presentation. Mind you, it's a sales pitch on why you should go to their fucking college. Most people don't understand that. I saw right through her bullshit. I was like, I got a question. She was like, what? And I was like, well, what if somebody's able to get a job where they're making $50,000 a year before going to college? Do you think they should still go? And she's like, well, if you find one, then let me know. And I was like, I already have one lined up.
Yeah.
And she was just kind of like, how the fuck is this kid about to make more? Yeah. And I think like for college, like the thing that just makes me fucking cringe, bro, is like how these people don't understand. They're making lifelong decisions at the age of 18, 19 years old, not understanding the backlash and the consequences that are going to come down the road. And I remember like, bro, I almost went to NYU. I almost had the ability to go to New York University. Yep. And I was going to go, bro, you know how much it costs to go to NYU? It's like
out of state.
$75,000 a year, bro.
Yeah, that's
and I almost went because they had one of the top law schools, and I got in with the wrestling coach, he was basically gonna finesse me into the school and get me approved, even though I didn't have like the standards. And it's a prestigious university.
Oh yeah,
bro. I almost I almost went backwards like $250,000 just because when people asked me, like you were saying at school, like when people had asked like, hey, where are you going to go to school? I just wanted to be like fucking NYU. You know what I mean? Like, but it's a pride thing, and it's an ego thing. And like, it's funny because fast forward to today, I've been able to travel all around the world. I've been able to make a shit ton of money. I've been able to connect with so many people that there's some people that like, bro, they follow me on Instagram from high school, and they're like, yo, that's crazy. I remember you saying in high school you were going to do all these things, and you're actually fucking doing it. And like, that's so sick.
It's one of those things where if you're a nerd and you're really good at what you do, you probably should go to school because you're going to be like an engineer, accounting. I think is like that borderline where like some people, like we had Real Striver on, and he's doing taxes. He never got his accounting degree. Like it's a fine line with that one, but I do think at the very least, which is why your book is going to be really great with that demographic, where it's like, I don't say don't go to school. I don't say go to school. I say do exactly that. Do the cost benefit analysis, and then if it doesn't match up, then go to community college. Because if somebody asks you, you don't have to be. And you're a senior, and somebody asks you about like, yo, what school you going to? I guarantee you, if you tell them, well, I'm gonna start freelancing doing this, I'm gonna try to contract this, like the shit you started doing right out of high school. And then I'm gonna take a couple of community or whatever, and then you sprinkle in community colleges. Nobody's shitting on you for that, bro. Because they can't do the same thing with their school.
The other thing, there's no fucking timeline on when you cannot go to school.
Oh,
a lot of people push that shit like, yo, if you don't go right after high school, like you're a disgrace, bro. You could fucking not do anything after high school for 10 years and still go to college and still get a degree. It doesn't make a difference. And for me personally, I didn't like what a lot of I feel like college is really just like it's like you prolong your high school years, and that's why a lot of people do it, because they don't want to get into the real world yet. And so like I think that like, college, hey, I'm not telling you guys not to go to college. At the end of the day, my biggest suggestion, my biggest piece of advice would be, no matter what it is you do, whether you decide to go to college or not, do something it is that you're passionate about and that you enjoy.
And the rest will fall in place.
Yeah, do not do something for money. Because I see it all the time. People are like, oh, I want to do this. Why do you want to do that? Because they make X amount of dollars a year. You're going to be fucking miserable.
Word.
Because you're doing this to make $100 grand a year, like, bro, you're gonna struggle whether you're going for something that you love or something that you can't stand. So it makes a lot more sense logically to struggle towards something that you're actually gonna find fulfillment and enjoyment in, rather than struggling just to deal with some bullshit job that you didn't even want in the first place. That's what a lot of people, like, bro, they don't teach that shit enough. Like, dude, find something you're passionate about and that you enjoy, because bro, the money will follow 100%.
Yeah, bro, that's what the book's gonna come in handy with. The Successful Dropout. Y'all gotta wait for it.
100%. Yo, check it out. I'll be, obviously going over details, and when that does launch, I'll probably post about it on my Instagram. Hell yeah, at Corban Arana. So hit me up.
It'll be in the description below.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna wrap this up. We do a weekly success and failure at the end of every episode. That's like our one segment we got right now. That's kind of like that weekly accountability for us. That's what we like to do. I'll start. Weekly success for me. We're dropping this tomorrow, right? So this week I'm starting my master's program. Hold on. It's been about 6 months ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 6 months ago I was going through another 8 months of, I was studying for the CPA. I was going hard for the CPA. Didn't really get it. Kind of found out it wasn't my cup of tea. Did a big pivot, going from my MBA 6 months later to this week. I'm starting my MBA program. I'm excited. I'm ready to fucking get this shit. Again, listen to how I talked about school, and I'm going for my MBA program. That's awesome. It's for some people. It's not for others.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's awesome that you're going for it, bro.
Yeah.
I could.
Hell yeah, man. And then weekly failure, I've been getting kind of back to it, but still, it's that other pillar of life that we all forget about. It's that health part.
Yeah.
I've been area of opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not a failure. It's an area of opportunity.
It's the area of opportunity. My area of opportunity this week is that I've been working out better, but I haven't been eating better. That's something I got to tighten up.
It's definitely difficult. It's not easy.
100%, bro.
So my weekly success would be I've been putting blood, sweat, and tears into that rehab. Me and my brother, we've been trying to finish it up. We got the business license now.
First flip.
We got everything set up. So that's my first flip.
First flip,
yes,
bro.
sir.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And then my failure would be kind of on his level, bro. I've gained like 15 pounds in the last 2 weeks. And man, it's not.
You can sign up now for my personal training program.
Yeah. Perfect insert.
That's funny.
Shit, bro. So I'm trying to get on that, man. So
perfect
I felt bad. I got the weight today. I went up. I was like, damn, I'm 190. Fuck.
Yeah. So I got 10 pounds on you right now.
It's catching up to me.
I ain't gonna talk about pounds.
All right, go ahead, Zach.
But it's funny that we all but anyways, my weekly my weekly success is that this week, man, like I said, in a couple months I'm gonna be doing my pivot like we talked about in the last episode. So this week, man, it's been crunch time hardcore. I've been doing a lot of different things, making phone calls I gotta make to get everything situated. I've been busting my ass. I've been working like a dog lately.
Trying to schedule with Zach's schedule the past couple weeks has been hard because it's been like one day.
I'll give you guys one day. Like right now I'm working like 6.5 days every single week right now, man. It's crunch time. I know that I'm buckling down. I gotta do what I gotta do for right now. And I know it's gonna be better in the long run, but it's sacrifice time. But my success is that I've been executing, even though like days I wake up and I'm like, man, I don't want to be doing this. I just want to go to sleep. I'm just like, nah, shut the fuck up. We got more things to do. We got better things to do. Get the fuck up. Let's go fucking do it.
Hell yeah.
And it's been tough. It's been a mind game, but I've been succeeding. So like that's my success. But on the failure side, man, like with me working so much, I haven't been cooking at all. I've been eating out a lot. I've been eating like shit, man. I've been eating fast food, which I hate, and like I'm starting to feel it, man. Just like this last week, I've been eating bad, and I can feel it, man. Because even though I'm a little chunky, I usually do eat pretty clean. But man, I'm feeling it. Like I'm feeling the grogginess. My stomach.
You putting bad fuel.
Man, my stomach's been messed up, man, and like it's like I don't like it, man. But it's just tough right now,
One recommendation, bro: meal prep services.
Bro,
I've started doing that because like I don't have time to cook.
Facts.
I don't have time to fucking.
But the whole point of what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to save every single. I'm penny pinching right now. For things I got in the future.
You spend money on food. Regardless.
Oh no, I go cheap when I go down. I'm like, look at that $5 biggie bag. Let me get that faux for faux, and that's one of the reasons and that's one of the things I'm eating. Like I'm eating shit food, and I'm eating the cheap shit food on top of it.
Pay a little bit to get that healthy consistency.
Yeah, I'm just like, let me get my chicken tenders, and like, and I'm trying.
It's also lazy too if you think about it, because if you could just go home and meal prep yourself, it's the same concept.
This is the cheapest motherfucker you'll ever meet, though. Just coming from. And happily,
for me personally, it's more about like the time factor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in my opinion, it makes more sense financially for me to pay for the service than me for to do it myself because I lose money.
Exactly. I was gonna say I have a price per hour for like what my time is worth, and depending on how much time it's going to save me, makes sense. But yeah, it's tough. I gotta make it finish. My hopes is that my girl is taking her fucking test on Wednesday this week for her registry. So shout out to my girl. She's going to be taking that test this week. But I'm hoping that when she's done with that, she can start cooking some food. I can start having some shit for me. Because she's crunch time right now, too.
I got a question for all you guys. Because you just said you have like a certain number in your mind of like how much your time is worth per hour.
Yeah.
I'm curious what everyone's number is.
So for me, my active time is $125. But like my not active time is $50.
Okay. Non-active is important.
When you say non-active, what do you mean by that? Like
that means that like if that would be time that I'd be normally sitting on my ass not doing anything. That's at 50. But if it's like I have normally, not right now because this is like right now my schedule is completely different. But I usually have time that like I want to work. And it's like a certain amount of hours per day that like I have set for work, and at that I want to make $125.
But you're not wrong. Like there's a time, like for instance, like if you're going to consider another job, that's active rate per hour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then it's like
something on the side.
Do I want to pay a service to cut my grass, or do I want to cut my grass myself? Okay. Now you're thinking of a different rate per hour. Like for me, that's like $25 an hour, right there. That's my rate. As soon as you exceed that rate, then I'm trying to do it myself. Yeah.
So what's y'all's rate?
25 for me. That's non-active.
25 non-active? What about active?
Active? Oof. I mean, I got people at work that listen to this. But
put a buffer. Put an asterisk on it.
I'll put a little
disclaimer.
Yeah. I'll put I work a job, right? So it's a salary you're comparing and stuff like that. But and then same thing, like if we're trying to start a business or something, you know, like obviously I'll take less to do more, but I mean, like around that $40 range. Yeah.
I guess non-active would be like, depends on, like you said, what it is. If it's cutting my grass and shit, if it's something that I could do to save myself money, then it's zero, nigga. I'm gonna go fucking do it. Like, what the fuck am I paying someone to do shit that I'm gonna cut my grass?
This man will walk places if it saves him fucking a gallon of gas, bro.
I know I can get to that place in 30 minutes. He's charging me $100 for his car, man. I'm gonna walk my ass.
This man will save money for ego, bro. Hey, that's it, bro.
I put my money in the right spots.
Zero.
In my investments and all that. That's where it goes. They're gonna go into my fucking food.
What about like your active?
My active, I ain't gonna get then less than 50 or 60.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show up just because you're giving me $35 to do this. Like, fuck that. That's $35. Woo.
Yeah. So what's up, bro? You got success and failure? Something for the week?
Success and failure.
Peak and pit?
I would say, I think it's so funny because like all of us had very similar ones. My failure is definitely, bro, I've been slacking on my health in terms of like the gym.
And for you, it's different because you seem like a naturally skinny dude. So for you, it's like health,
bro,
period.
It's the fucking opposite, bro. For you guys, you skip the gym, you gain weight. Yeah. I skip the gym, I lose weight, bro. Yeah. And it fucking sucks because like I hate, bro. So I know, right?
Ooh, that's so hard.
I try to count my blessings now, but at the same time, like, you know, something that I've always like been like, I would say there was a point in my life where I was like insecure about it, like, but at the same time, like, because I did like wrestling and MMA, I didn't give a fuck. Like, but like, bro, there was a point in my life where every damn day I was in the gym. And I was eating like 3,500 calories a day, like, and I gained a lot of weight. I got up to like, you know, like muscle mass. I was up to like 157, and I started at 130 when I first started working out. Yeah, and bro, I backtracked a lot. Yeah. Like I haven't even stepped on a scale because like I'm low key terrified.
Zach's like, yo, fuck you, bro.
We're all trying to be like you, bro.
No, right? I look at a cheeseburger and gain 2 pounds. What you talking about,
boy? My area of opportunity is definitely getting back in the gym. Yeah. And just being more organized with my time. I've had like him. I've had a lot of, you know, different projects and things that I'm working on. And as an entrepreneur, it gets very difficult to schedule your day because you have so much going on. Mm-hmm. So, you know, my areas of opportunity, I would say, is definitely in my health, in my organization with my time. And then my successes for the week.
Yeah. Or month, whatever.
I would say my successes are I would say the connections I've made. I've made a lot of really good connections. You know, that has led me to potentially landing a publishing deal. So that's
for
probably,
the book, baby.
That's probably going to be I would say my number one success. And then being here with you guys, bro.
Yeah, hey, appreciate it, bro.
Definitely
appreciate it, bro.
I genuinely like the main reason I decided to do this podcast is I was like, you know what, like if 5 years from now these guys turn into like the next Joe Rogan podcast, I'm gonna fucking kick myself in the face for not doing it. So like, and I really do like respect the hustle, and I think the main thing was your guys' consistency. Because there's a lot of people that I'm gonna do a podcast and then they have one fucking episode,
or they have like one every like 2 months or something.
You guys have been nonstop for like what 53.
Yep. Yeah, bro.
I think this is 50. I think this is 57 now.
Yeah, and we going for another year.
This is number 57.
Honestly, like shout out to you guys and bro, keep at it, because I genuinely believe like if you guys are your time is going to come sooner or later, and it's going to be like the one podcast you least expect.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And, they say success is where opportunity it meets preparation.
Yeah,
and you guys are definitely like consistent as fuck with this. It's gonna
we're preparing. That's
100%. Appreciate that.
Hey, I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
Bro. It's inevitable.
I was on that shit. You see my episode?
Hey, we're gonna have you again. That's for sure. We'll have you again, bro. Yo, it's been dope. We appreciate that, because that's one of the hardest things about this whole thing is the consistency. Like we know a lot of people and we follow a lot of different podcasts just for that blueprint. You know what I mean? And you do notice not most of them, maybe 1 out of the 5 that we'll look at do weekly content, do weekly
consistently.
Episodes.
This will be number 57. And we haven't missed a week, man.
That's awesome, bro.
And the part of that is like there's value in quantity, right? Like even if every episode we put out isn't the best, it's the one you least expect. And that's all we trying to do, bro. Plus we fucking love this shit. This was a dope ass conversation. This is a dope ass event. Fun, We're having talks that we probably never would have. You know what I mean? Like otherwise, why we'd be talking? You know what I mean? Like I love this shit. It's putting us in circles that. Putting us in rooms and talking with people that
we never would have met.
Yeah, man, it's really cool, bro. It's good stuff.
Like a networking group, you know what I'm saying?
It really is, bro.
But that's it, bro. We appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Thank you guys. Yes, for sure. Thank you guys for having me out, for sure.
That's it, man. Pocket Watch out, bro.
Pocket Watch out, guys.